Hello peeps, I'm here in the backyard, urban homestead. I've got my fire going. I don't know how to flip the camera around, or I would. And let me just flip it around right quick. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to flip to the front facing or the other facing camera, so whatever. Anyway, yeah, I found myself kind of spiraling today. Felt a little depressed. Wasn't able to spend time with somebody that I wanted to spend time with, and I don't know, it's funny how something that insignificant can kind of trigger me and get me kind of spiraling. I hate it. I wish I could just not spiral, but God's helping me to figure this out. You know, my lighting here is not very good. All I have is the fire and the Christmas lights here. I'm just making a video, just maybe as a video diary, or, you know, whatever. Maybe I'll post it. Who knows? I don't know. But just, you know, when things like that happen, they're fairly insignificant, and my logic tells me that they are. However, my heart, like, aches for some reason, and I get really, like, heartache. And then it causes me to think of all the other negative things. I get spiraling into my negative things, you know. It's almost like the enemy's like, well, you know, you don't have this, you don't have that, you need this, and, you know, you want this, and you've been praying about this, and, you know, he kind of brings up all the stuff that hasn't really necessarily manifested yet, and it starts getting me in a, you know, in a bad place, and I don't like it. I'm just seeking and trusting God to help me break through this so I can learn how to control it to where I don't get into a negative mindset to where it affects my life, you know, in a bad way. And thank God I have been able to control it to a certain extent, but sometimes it's hard, and sometimes I do make bad decisions because of it. But I just feel sometimes it's just kind of a lack of purpose in my heart. I feel like, what am I supposed to be doing here? You know, like, I'm breathing air and I'm living and I'm eating, and it's just almost like I'm just living to, like, sustain my flesh, you know? And I just feel like if that's all this is, then, you know, that's kind of depressing, and I don't want to be here, you know? And I don't necessarily want to, like, off myself or anything, but I just feel like there's something missing in my life, and I can't, you know, it's like I know God, I love the Lord, I pray, I seek Him, I fast, I pray, I go to church, I do everything that I can to try to maintain a relationship with God, and I know God speaks to me, you know, through His Word, and I just, you know, I just have to learn how to, gotta find my purpose, man. There's times where I feel like it's like God's already told me what it is, but I don't have an outlet for it. I don't know, you know, what to do. I wish I could, you know, maybe sing at the church. I know I was very happy when I was doing that. You know, I felt very content, you know, because I felt like, man, I'm doing something. You know, I'm doing something that might make a difference in somebody's life. I'm doing something that's going to make a difference on this earth. Instead of just sitting here eating chips, drinking, smoking, you know, I'm just tired of that. You know, I want something more for my life, and not just satisfying my flesh, you know, all the time. It's just like, God, there's got to be something that I can do to impact this earth. Maybe I am impacting people and I don't realize it. You know, maybe I'm blinded to some things. Maybe I am blind to the things, you know, maybe I am touching people more than I think I am, you know, or why, I don't know, maybe I just am a narcissist and I want people to notice me. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me, honestly. I don't want to make a huge long video, but I did want to kind of get my feelings out somehow, in a way, you know, something productive, not destructive. you know, because when I get kind of where I want to, you know, spiral, I get kind of destructive a little bit, you know, but it's towards myself. Like, I want to, like, make decisions that are going to hurt me, that are going to directly hurt me, you know, like, whether it's, you know, fuck it, let's just get drunk as hell and just forget about life. And, you know, I know that's not a good solution to my problem. You know, I as a Christian, I know that that's retarded. But, you know, it's hard to not give in to that, you know, desire of the flesh. But I'm just trusting that God is going to help me to sort through some things in my life and figure out, you know, what is my purpose for life, you know. And honestly, I have a longing to have, you know, a family with kids and the white picket fence and all that. You know, maybe I'm just naive. Maybe I'm just, you know, naive. You know, it's maybe I can't really necessarily have that in the world that I live in. You know, I don't know. I know it sounds retarded. You know, most people want careers and money and cars and, you know, fancy things. And yeah, I want to live a good life. I want to have my needs met, but I don't want to roll around in a Mercedes. You know, I don't have any desire for that. I don't have any desire to buy a yacht or a huge multi-million-dollar home, or you know, I don't need that. I live in a ghetto little apartment here on Lincoln in the hood. But God blesses it, you know. I've got like a little freaking garden in here, and, you know, first time gardener, and things look decent for being a first timer. I mean, I find a little bit of peace in gardening, you know, because I feel like, you know, I'm taking care of something. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just like I have this maternal instinct that's not been fulfilled and not been satisfied, and it's just burning within me, and I feel stuck, because it's like, God, this maternal instinct is dependent on another person to bring forth life. And I don't want to sound obsessive about, you know, wanting to have a kid, but, you know, it's like, I'm in my 30s and I'm not getting younger, and I just, you know, God, I need this thing to kind of hurry up. But, you know, God's got to get the politics straightened out. And it's kind of one of these situations where it's like, I have no control. You know, seems like God does that to me a lot, where I just absolutely have no control or say in my situation, where it's just like I have to completely just depend on Him to orchestrate things in my life. It's been like that a lot in my life. And after all these years, I don't know why I don't just sit back and trust Him and let Him, you know, do the work, instead of being worried about everything all the damn time. Like, that's helping me. You know, just, you know, waiting on God. Just waiting on God right now. That's where my life's at. Just waiting on God. I feel like He's putting the pieces together. I feel like He's getting things aligned, but I tend to be a little impatient, because I feel like I've been waiting for a long time, and it's just like, God, I'm impatient. You know, and I'm on a time crunch. I need to hurry up. We got to get this done. But who am I to tell God to hurry up? You know, God's got to do what God's got to do, and He's got to help me get my ducks in a row. But I feel like, you know, if you always feel like you gotta be uber ready before you're ever gonna do anything, then you never will do anything, because you ain't never gonna be ready. You're always gonna be growing. You're always gonna be progressing, and that's just the fact of life. Well, it's getting close to a 10-minute mark, so I'm going to cut this off. This has been a vlog or a video diary, whatever you want to call it. And God bless. Have a good night. Don't spiral. Night.